Hello everyone, welcome back to Roger Journal. I'm Alice. Today I'd like to share how I make a journal out of a Starbucks cup. I made a December journal in the same way last year too, some of you might remember. I loved it so much, so I thought it would be fun to share the making process with you. So this is a venti size cup and this is what I made last year. They have different designs but the same size. I'm going to use the cup to make the front cover, so I'm cutting the bottom and the top. Now it is a fan shape. We need to make it an isosceles trapezoid shape. It means that the top and the bottom need to be parallel, and when you fold it in half, both sides should be the same. I'm cutting the right side. It's up to you how much it'll be diagonal. You can choose the angle you want. The important thing is cutting the other side symmetrically. To do this, I made a template. I traced what I cut on a grid paper. I always use grid paper to make a template because it is very helpful to see parallels and right angles. Now I'm folding the template in half to get an exact symmetric left side. The template is done, now I can cut the left side. I pulled out a thick craft paper to back the front cover. As you know, the inside of takeout cups is slippery because they are waterproof coated, so I used sandpaper before I glue it on the craft paper. The front cover is basically done here, but it kept rolling because it was a cup, so I put a heavy book to make it as flat as possible. Now I'm gonna make a back cover out of the same craft paper. It is 220 GSM, perfect to make a notebook cover. For the pages inside, I pulled out a vintage paper, patterned paper scraps, and my digital kit holiday. This printable kit has 2 vintage linens, so I thought they would make perfect pages for a December journal. This kit has an envelope like my other kits. I wanted to include it in the journal, but as you can see, sadly it is bigger than the journal. Now I'm going to make the pages in the same shape with the cover with the help of the template. As you can see, I'm folding the pattern paper scraps off center because it turned out that all of them are a little bit small to make full-size pages, and I prefer to have one full-size page and the other much narrower page to 2 exactly same size pages. I pulled out 6 papers which make 12 pages, 24 front and back, because I'm going to use this journal for December, so I don't need much pages. I want to finish this journal within December. I decided to make 3 signatures, that means 2 sheets per 1 signature. Before starting binding, I wanted to finish the back cover. Because the craft paper was one-sided, so I wanted to cover the other side. And this was my plan. I wanted to use scraps from making the front cover and the pages. I'm really happy with this collage of triangles. And I love that this back cover summarizes the front cover and the pages inside. I used double-sided tape to stick the Starbucks cup scraps and glue stick for the other paper scraps. Now it's time to make a template for binding. I filmed it, but my head was getting in the way all the time. I'm so sorry about that, but it's not complicated at all. First, I drew a line 1 centimeter from the left side. It's roughly a half an inch. And then I pierced 4 holes in the covers. 50 millimeters from the end and another 50 millimeters. I did the same for the bottom too. I drew lines from the holes to the edge at a right angle to know where to poke holes into the signatures. I was gonna use Coptic stitch, that's why the template looks like this. So these are 4 points where to poke holes into the signatures. So lined up the papers and the template, and I'm poking holes. It doesn't matter how many holes you make or how far between them. Just note that if you space all the holes evenly, I found that the covers and the pages tend to more wiggle. Because this is Coptic stitch, they are connected to each other only with a binding thread. That's why I made the first and second holes are 15 millimeters far, and the third and fourth are the same, but the second and third are much further. I pulled out my cotton thread case. This was my mom. She used to cross stitch a lot, but not anymore, so she gave me the threads. So I picked this dark green color. I started binding. I'm not gonna explain how to Coptic stitch in this video, but Jennifer has a great Coptic stitch tutorial on her channel Sea Lemon. I'll link her tutorial video below. But if I may just give little tips for beginners. First, this is most important. The binding will be tremendously easier if you use curved needle. I think they are called a upholstery needle. And second, when you bind, pull the thread tight to make your journal less wiggle. As I say, the thread is the only thing that holds the covers and signatures together. Of course, that's why Coptic stitch makes journals lay flat, which is awesome. But if the thread is loose, your journal will wiggle more. And you can make signatures as many as you want. I made 3 for this journal, but it's totally up to you. Just remember that the more signature you make, the more time it'll take to bind. But the more papers your signature have, the more challenging the binding will be. Whatever binding method you choose, especially when your pages have different weights, shapes, and sizes like mine. You can see my front cover is still curling. It would be much easier to deal with if the cover was flatter. I hope these little tips were helpful. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. The binding is done, so I put it under heavy books again and waited 2 days before decorate the cover. I pulled out some circle stickers to cover the Starbucks logo, and this is a paper band. I bought it from a home decor store. I glued it at the top to make it look snowflakes from the sky. For the inside cover, I pulled out a beautiful die cassette. It is the Spirit of Christmas collection by Fabrika Decoru. I'll write the names in the description box below. With a doily, I made a place to write and added a moon and stars around it. So this is how it's done. I love the look of Coptic stitch, the collage, the back cover, and the front cover is snowy. It was so fun and easy to make. The pages inside have different sizes and odd shapes, which is totally okay for me. I'm planning to share a couple of December journaling processes in this journal, including Daphne's diary journaling. And if you're interested, you can watch my last year's Starbucks cup journal flip through as well. I love this exposed spine. I hope everything I explained made sense. Let me know if you have any questions, and if you try this, please tag me on social media. I'd love to see your creativity. I hope you enjoy this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my new video next Thursday. Bye bye!